And what a beautiful line that can teach us to remember that life is the ebbs and flows and ups and downs. And if we treat something so precious that we never even let it see the light of day, we've actually destroyed it and blocked it from the life and experiences it was meant to have. Dents and dings and bruises and scars are not imperfections, my friends. They are signs of life. Virgo, welcome my beautiful Virgo souls to your energy reading for this week ahead tarot card reading. Set healthy boundaries. So there is a necessity or a call to arms, if you will, this week saying, Virgo, your current situation is spilling over into places that are going to quickly, if not yet already, going to get toxic for you. And so boundaries need to be set. Now, stereotypically, Virgos are extremely good at setting boundaries, but not when it comes to intimate partnerships. There's a lot of tricks there, right? And so there is this sense of, I need to help myself by reestablishing a firm foundation for me. So this week, whatever week this comes to you, and this is an energy reading, Virgo, so it comes to you when you call it in. You're listening to this right now because you drew the message to you. There's something in this message that you need to hear or want to hear that will support you or clarify your situation for you. That being said, if you love these readings, then please remember to subscribe to the channel because there is a new reading every single week. If you're looking for a personal reading, I do those, Virgo. We're going to leave whatever comes out on the table just out where it is because it's part of the message. So we'll see what comes out. I do those. Go check out my website, bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, and you can schedule whatever kind of reading is best for you, best serves you now. Okay, Virgo. Okay, Virgo. We're almost there. Just see what needs to talk to us right now, or let's clarify the energy. Take your time. That's something I heard clearly in my head that I needed to share. Take your time. So clearly, Virgo, something has been making you feel rushed, and that's putting up your defenses. We'll get into what just flipped out in the past. Let's see what else has to join this message. If you feel like you need to catch up to the past or a place that you were in the past, because a place that you were in the past was good. It was abundant. It was the way that you imagine the good times to be. This is Taurus energy. So there was resources that were stable and abundant, and you felt cared for, and you felt like everything was going to always be okay. This could be your childhood or just a time in your life when times were better. Now, the problem with comparison is always the comparison itself. You're not living in the current situation. You're not living in the here and now. Instead, you're wishing that times were what they were. But there's an ebb and flow to life, good and bad times. And that's the blessing of it, is that none of them stays. We have to keep moving. And part of why you need to set boundaries right now, or you're feeling overwrought with distress, or that things are starting to pile up, is because you're comparing them to a time that you were happy, or you felt like your life was safer and more abundant. You want to get back to where you were, and where your focus has to be, my friends, is on where you're going. There is no turning back. And ultimately, that comparison is creating a bigger burden for you, which you honestly do not need right now. So as we begin the reading, that's one thing that you can sort of be illuminated in. Oh, I can actually relieve myself of the stress by letting go of the way things were, or how I think they should be. That is going to help to decrease my stress and be one of the first boundaries that I set to get myself back to health. An internal boundary that says, I will no longer waste my time comparing. I've got to look at what's in front of me now and be grateful that I'm still alive. Then we have these two cards: trust the great mystery, and this and that are true. So diving into the present moment, feeling that awakening. You see, this is 65 on whale, and 6 plus 5 reduces, 6 plus 5 is 11. So this is an awakening, realizing that I just have to dive into my current situation. I have to embrace it and let myself be completely immersed in the situation. Perhaps the boundaries that need to be reset are you built up too many walls against the current situation. Boundaries are different, right? Sometimes it's the Great Wall of China. Sometimes it's a picket fence. Sometimes it's a barbed wire electric fence. Sometimes it's no fence at all. Basically what this is saying is set healthy boundaries. You've been putting up boundaries, and especially you've been putting up boundaries to your own happiness. You've been putting up boundaries to your own happiness, and because you've been comparing it to the past, a past that is most likely you remember it better than it actually was too. And trust the great mystery is saying you're being called to dive into the current situation and immerse yourself completely and take down some of the boundaries you have set up against it, judging it as wrong because of this comparison to what was. Then we have this and that are true. Being able to, once you dive into the current situation, my friends, you're going to be able to see that this is as good as that was. You know, this is, it's comparative, that one isn't better than the other. In fact, you're starting to see both sides of things, and you're starting to feel the weight start to lift when you realize that this isn't not good. This is a different kind of good. There are things here that are wonderful too, and perhaps experience that goodness in the here and now instead of waiting 10 years to idealize it then. That mindset has to shift. And then we have tend to the small things coming out in your future, which is detail oriented, or things that have been building up, little toxicities or illnesses or ailments that have been building up, or just the details that have been building up. But we're going to see, because this is Virgo energy, so it's almost like it's the small things that have been really creating the most weight, because they're insidious, right? It's like a 100-pound weight, you know, is a 100-pound weight, but you know, you keep putting all these like quarter-pound weights on your back, and you don't realize that they stay there and they add up to a 100-pound weight, which is what this is looking like. And then we have Spirit has your back. You are soaring into the future. You are finding a way to actually capitalize on everything that has been happening to you or going on. This sense of figuring out how to make a feast out of the current difficulties, because clearly ego would feast on mouse. Spirit has your back. Tend to the small things. Taking leadership over and facing bravely those little things that you've allowed to pile up, to get in the way of you experiencing this moment at its fullest or to its fullest extent. So let's get a little bit deeper into this current situation and why this is such a struggle. First and foremost, got to do with something that you love a lot, a great deal of love, a great deal of effort. You've put a lot into something but gotten a little bit out of it, or you feel like it's taking too long. This could be a job, this could be a relationship, but there's a sense of also, my friends, you are treating this too preciously, as if this is the only thing that's ever going to be the greatest love of your entire life. And by doing that, you've actually kind of helicopter parented it. You've actually kind of cut it off from actually thriving to its fullest capacity. And this could be your job, your relationships, whatever this is. It's like you've gone too precious. It doesn't mean that it shouldn't be precious to you. It's that you can't treat it as such, because you know that scene from Finding Nemo where Marlin says to Dory, I promised Nemo, he's talking about Nemo, I promised him I'd never let anything happen to him. And Dory, with her really open, unique mindset, very Aquarian mindset, Ellen DeGeneres, I believe, is an Aquarius, but that's off the point. With her very unique mindset, she said, oh, that's strange. And Marlin says, what? And she says, well, if you never let anything happen to him, then nothing will ever happen to him. And what a beautiful line that can teach us to remember that life is the ebbs and flows and ups and downs. And if we treat something so precious that we never even let it see the light of day, we've actually destroyed it and blocked it from the life and experiences it was meant to have. Dents and dings and bruises and scars are not imperfections, my friends. They are signs of life. And so there is this sense of needing then to recalibrate and rebalance out your not only priorities, but the way that you value things. Libra energy suggests that this could be a partnership that you're dealing with. It could also be a Libra specifically that you're dealing with. It's just also a sense of being more judicious and seeing that this and that are both true, and that it will be okay if you lean a little bit in the other direction. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is you. This is somebody who likes to take things slow, and somebody who is very particular and responsible, perhaps to a fault. You could be also talking about a situation between you and a Libra, or you and another earth sign. This seems to be a partnership that has moved slowly and it has been preserved, but because of that, it has never actually moved forward or developed or grown. So you've done too good a job, my friends, which is so normal for you. You've done too perfect of a job. And in that perfection is also the destruction. So hang back a little bit. Allow yourself to be imperfect. Allow those walls to come down and let the water splash in your face a little bit. It really is this call to arms, my friends, to allow that to happen, which is going to take a tremendous amount of courage, I'm sure. But ultimately, your love for whatever this is will speak to that leap of faith. Okay, so there's just a lot that you've taken on, and you've taken on too much, and that's a clarifier. The 10 of Wands clarifies that you've taken on too many responsibilities. You're trying to do too much and all at once, and you're trying to pretend that that is what makes you a good person, but that's actually what is breaking you. Why are you hearing this message now? Because you need to hear it. Because God is on your side always. And do I speak for God? No, but hopefully God speaks through me. And just to remind you that you need to let some of this go. You have taken too much on, and your desire to be perfect is actually keeping you from being fully alive. So let's get into our moon card. Okay, maybe one more shuffle and see. Yeah, your commitment is being tested. In the most difficult way, your commitment is being tested. Can you keep going? Yes, you can. But you can only keep going if you're going to be able to do what needs to be done to keep going. And your reaction would be to go harder on planning and prepping and scheduling and knowing and being prepared. But that's not the challenge. It's letting go and letting God and opening up and goofing up, because there's actually perfections in those mistakes. There could also be literally pressure on your relationship right now, but this would be the reason why. This could be the mentality that is putting pressure on your relationship. Your commitment is being tested. How far are you going to carry this burden before you put it down and say, this isn't mine to carry? Okay. Let yourself sparkle and shine. You are guided to be bold and show your bigger than life side to the world. Have a little fun. Let your hair down. Don't be the responsible one. Allow yourself to shine up. You have been shining down, and it has been taking a huge toll on how you feel about life and how you feel about yourself. You're so convincing. No one can get in a conversation with a Virgo without ending up believing their side of the story, because you're so convincing. Problem is, you've been that convincing with yourself, and you've talked yourself into this corner of responsibility and duty or whatever this is, and God wants you to drop it. Cut the crap. Stop talking that game and convincing yourself out of yourself, out of your beautiful, expressive, artistic, creative. Let the world see who you are self. It doesn't matter about the validation. It doesn't matter about the perfection. What matters is that you are going to be seen again, because right now you're buried. And yes, sometimes when we are buried, we are the seed. We've been planted. And that's exactly what's happening, is the new you has to sprout up. But it has to be different. Higher power. So give it over. Give it over to God. Listen to the calling. Trust in it. Have faith and believe. That's the key to this higher consciousness. You've been divinely inspired. So it's almost like that's the lifeline. That's what God's sending you to get you out of this rut of, in order to keep this going. It's almost like you're not supposed to be putting all that energy to keep your relationship together right now. You've actually got better, more wonderful things to do. This sense of overburdening yourself with duties or responsibilities that you're not even supposed to have is keeping you from actually making and creating what you are supposed to. Interesting how we can do that to ourselves, isn't it? I just felt called to these cards. Nine of Swords. This is stress. It's a lot on your plate. And it could even be in some ways causing you to get sick. And if you have been feeling sickness lately, it is because this stress is tearing you down from the inside. There's no enemy greater than ourselves. I hope you'll come with me to the extended. Will you? The link is down below. Please do go find whichever extended version works for you. The BWOB membership, you won't even have to click off. You can go right on YouTube and see the extended readings, or come to my website, go to Vimeo. There's so many places to choose from. I love you guys, and I will see you there.